There is more gun legislation moving through the Ohio State House, and it is under fire. Opponents worry it would loosen restrictions, while proponents say it protects the Second Amendment.
But as NBC4 State House reporter Natalie Fahmy tells us, the bill is still a work in progress. Natalie, what's the latest there?
Well, that's right. The bill was originally scheduled for a vote out of the House Government Oversight Committee this afternoon, but the chair of the committee decided not to take that up. Still, committee members heard nearly 2 hours of testimony from both proponents and opponents and say there are still some sticking points. One supporter and more than 50 opponents of the Second Amendment Preservation Act, or House Bill 51, made their voices heard. Opponents like Andrea Yagoda saying the bill is not in the best interest of Ohioans.
How does this bill address what Ohioans really care about? Curbing gun violence.
One point of contention is pistol braces. They're used to help stabilize a handgun. But brace pistols have been redefined by the ATF and will soon be subject to more regulations. This bill would eliminate that possibility in Ohio.
Without this change to state law and passing SAPA, you will be giving Ohio law enforcement the green light to enforce this federal tyranny. But
Yagoda says that worries her, as brace pistols have been used in mass shootings like in 2021 in Colorado and here in Ohio.
In 2019 in Dayton, Ohio, 9 people killed. When the citizens of Dayton cried, "Do something," this is not what they intended.
The bill would also prohibit law enforcement from having the authority to enforce federal weapons laws. And though the current wording is unclear, would make it so state agencies cannot hire anyone who served as a federal agent in Ohio.
It's an outright bar, as I understand it. Don't you think that goes way too far?
No, I don't think it goes too far. If we believe that it's unconstitutional that the feds are passing gun control that we in the state of Ohio don't believe that they should, why would we want to hire those individuals?
I think in general, we all want to make sure people that are good for jobs get hired, whether they have federal pedigrees or whether they're local or state folks.
A nearly identical bill was ruled unconstitutional in Missouri, but both the chair of the committee and Speaker of the House say they're taking their time on this legislation to make sure they get it right. Local for you at the State House, I'm Natalie Fahmy, NBC4.
All right, Natalie, thank you. Now, recently, the city of Columbus sued the state, claiming Ohio laws hamper the city from enacting common sense gun reforms. Last year, Columbus passed an ordinance requiring the safe storage of guns in homes where kids could get their hands on them. The lawsuit says Ohio has no such requirements. The city's law also includes a ban on high-capacity magazines and tries to close the so-called strawman purchases, where a person agrees to buy or acquire a gun for someone else. Now, last night, Columbus City Council approved more funding to buy and distribute gun locks.